Hi, fellow followers of the Toy Shed. This is another little video entry. This time looking at two figures instead of just one. It's going to be the vintage General Grievous and his little personal bodyguard, the Manga Guard. Now, pretty much, the General Grievous here, he's pretty much the same as the Legacy Universe Grievous pictured right over here. And, you know, as I said in my previous review, I mean, Legacy Grievous was pretty much awesome, as he was an awesome figure. I mean, they're just the most huge, biggest figures of the Star Wars line. I mean, they still are, and they pretty much redid him in the vintage line. And he has a spiffy cape now, and he pretty much has get this little thing right here, like two little lightsabers. You can put him in his little cape here. You can actually put him in this area too, his cape. Pretty much the only big difference between this Grievous, vintage Grievous, and the Legacy Grievous is besides the cape and pretty much he's a lighter color tone of the figure, is that he has different hand joints. As you can see, this Grievous has two pegs on his hand and pretty much none on his arm, but none on his fingers. But this Grievous, give me 1 second. He has free. You can pretty much move his hands at all, and they have a little. As you can see, a little thing here to pretty much push his arms together here. Now, the worst thing about this Grievous compared to Legacy Grievous is pretty much this guy is hard to stand up. I mean, it took me forever just to get him standing up like he is right now. I mean, his little legs here are more like very light compared to this guy here. So, honestly, I wouldn't fully recommend him for anybody who is a diehard Star Wars fan, but I mean, pretty much, he's a good figure, but I wouldn't recommend him to anybody else. I mean, if you just want the Grievous the cape, that's pretty much the only reason I probably would get him, because he has a cape. But yeah, he's not really a much buy. I would just say only if you're a hardcore fan, Star Wars fan, get him. As for his little Manga Guard guy here, now this guy on the other hand, I mean, I think he's a redo of, he's the same figure from the Clone Wars, came out like a last year version, except now he has a spiffy cape. And he also comes with a pistol, but who's really going to use it for the little pistol? But, I mean, he's a very posable guy. His articulation's way better than Grievous's. I mean, he won't fall down like Mr. Grievous here. And there goes the Legacy Grievous. And there goes things. Like I said, I mean, Legacy, vintage Grievous is pretty much a pain in the ass to stand up. Well, Manga Guard, you can do whatever you please with him. Pretty much, this guy though is pretty much hard to find right now. Supposedly, I was lucky to find 3 of them at my Toys R Us and also Target, but I would recommend getting a Toys R Us because they are selling these guys for about $10 a pop, while Target and Walmart $7.99. So yeah. If you really want a vintage figure, go to Target and Walmart. Toys R Us is just ripping you off, except unless you want to get them really early. That's the only best thing about Toys R Us, of getting their vintage figures. Pretty much, like I said, he's pretty much like the Clone War version of this figure, but he has a spiffy cape, and spiffy capes do make him look a little more awesomer. But yeah, that's pretty much my review of both figures. I mean, I would get the Manga Guard definitely, if you didn't get him before the 3 other times he was released, but this is a really good version of the character. I would definitely get him if I was, anyway, so yeah, he's a must-buy. But as for Grievous, again, it all depends on your point of view. If you really want to get a Grievous, get him, but he's going to be a pain in the butt to stand up. I mean, you'll have to probably have him against the wall. And another thing I was mad at the figure is that pretty much he only comes with 2 lightsabers. The picture on the card has him with 4. Some reason he only gets 2, just like the Legacy Grievous. So it's like, couldn't Hasbro have just given us 4 lightsabers? I mean, give him the 4 lightsabers in each hand. I mean, awesome like that. But no, they didn't. The only improvement I would say, again, I'm just talking about Grievous again, is that you can put all 4 lightsabers into his hand more better than this guy, Legacy Grievous, but yeah, he's still a pain in the butt. Honestly, I would recommend just, if you have this Grievous, get the Legacy Grievous. But if you want the Grievous cape and the loose little limbs, get this Grievous. but he's right now probably just easier one to get, unless you want to go to eBay or Hasbro.com to get this guy. So yeah. So there's my little review on these two figures. Again, Grievous, only if you're a hardcore fan, get this guy. Manga Guard figure, I just knocked him over. Must buy, unless you got him before. I mean, if you got him before, you can pass, but I mean, this guy's the fabric cape, and pretty much if you go to Walmart or Target, it's better off to get him that way. He's worth it, trust me. So there's my review, and then probably next week I'll probably review either some more Marvel Universe figures or Iron Man 2. Haven't decided yet. Until then, see you next time.